Alright, so in this video we're going to do Chapter 2, Section 4, Part 2. So it's the same notes as Chapter 2.4, but starting with, I think, the 10th slide, so wherever we left off. So we're going to look at parallel lines and perpendicular lines. So parallel lines run in the same direction and they will never touch each other. So two parallel lines have the same slope. So my slope of this red line is going to be the same slope of my slope of this blue line. Perpendicular lines intersect at a right angle, and perpendicular slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other. So opposite reciprocals. So if I had a slope, for example, that was 3/4, the opposite, meaning that the sign changes, so if it's positive, it becomes negative, and reciprocal means that we flip it. So 3/4, when you flip it, it becomes 4/3. So opposite, meaning you change the sign, so if it's positive, it becomes negative, if it's negative, it becomes positive, and reciprocal means that you flip it. So this is when you have perpendicular lines. So looking at problem 6. So what is the equation of each line in point slope form? Our line is parallel to this one. So we have to look at our line here and see what's our slope. Our slope is what's being multiplied to the x when it's in y equals mx plus b form. So that m is what's in front of the x, so our slope is 6. If it's parallel, that means our slope is going to be the same. So our slope of the new line is 6 also. And then the point is 1, -3. So x1 is 1, y1 is -3. So when we plug that into point slope form, our point slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we just plug in our slope and our point. So y minus -3 becomes a +3. You always change the sign when you plug in your x and your y. And then m is 6 times x minus x1, which is 1. And this is our line in point slope form. Next, we're going to do the same thing. Here it says parallel, so again we know our slopes are going to be the same. So our slope of the line that we have originally is 2/5. So that's going to be our slope of our new line too, 2/5. And then it has to go through this point here. So this is our x1 and y1. And again, our point slope formula is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we have to plug in our m and our y1 and x1. So y minus y1 is -1, so minus a negative becomes a plus, so y plus 1 is equal to the slope times x minus x1, which is 1. So this is our line in point slope form. Next, we're trying to find the line perpendicular to y is equal to -4x plus 2/3 through this point. Perpendicular slopes mean that they are opposite reciprocals. So opposite meaning that our signs flip, so if it's positive, it goes to negative. Here, it's negative, so it's going to go to positive. And then reciprocal means that we flip it. So -4 is our slope, but we want to take the opposite reciprocal of it. So our new slope is going to be positive 1/4. Since this 4 is technically 4/1, we flip it to become 1/4. And opposite means that we have to change the sign, so it becomes positive. And then this is our point, so this is our x1, y1. Again, we're going to plug it into point slope form, so that's y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Now we plug in our point and our new slope. So y minus y1 is 5 is equal to 1/4 times x minus x1, which is 8. And that's our equation in point slope form. Alright, our last example. Again, it says it's perpendicular, so these need to be opposite reciprocals for the slope. So if it's negative, it's going to go to positive, and reciprocal means that we flip it. So our slope here is negative 2/5. So our new slope is going to be positive 5/2, because we change the sign and flip it. And then our point here, this is our x1 and our y1. Again, I'm going to write our point slope formula for you guys. We have y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So we plug in our new slope and our point. So y minus y1 is 1 is equal to our slope. New slope is what we're using. So that's 5/2 times x minus -3. So minus a negative becomes a plus. So x plus 3. And that's our equation in point slope form. So just a reminder, our slope when it's parallel, so if it's two parallel lines, our slopes are going to be the same. When your lines are perpendicular, your slopes are going to be opposite reciprocals, which means that you change the sign, so positive becomes negative, negative becomes positive, and you flip the fraction. So make sure you turn in the completed 2.4 note, so it should have part 1 and part 2, and you're going to submit that to Canvas by the end of class. And if you have time, you can start working on 2.4 part 2 homework.